Ultimate Racing League for our BTCC tribute on a Monday night, all sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. And thank you to those guys for helping us bring you these races. This is race 3, a fantastic couple of races we've had so far here at Goodwood for the opening race. This is round 2. Race 1 was more of a testing thing, so it's not really counted, although we are calling this one round 2. So this is the proper start of the racing. As I say, we're at Goodwood, 2.3 miles and 8 turns ahead of us, and well, a bit of a nightmare track for some. We have seen the opening couple of laps in the previous 2 races have been all sorts of shenanigans with cars going off all over the place. I think I mentioned before it's been more like rally cross than BTCC, but that's the fun of it all. Bit of an introduction into nitrous on this one, so a lot of the guys won't be used to it, so being very careful when to use it. And also we've got the damage on heavy, so any damage that is picked up, if the guys want it repaired, they're going to have to come into the pits and get the pit crew on it before letting them back out again. So they're pretty much the rules. 2 sets of softs and a set of mediums are open to them each round. As this being race 3, they're on to the last set of tyres now. Some have saved some of the soft set for this race. Others have already used theirs up, so we're on the mediums. We shall see as we go around the track. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So reverse, it's a bit of a strange one, this one. Is the top 8 from race 2 are reversed, and then the others as they came in. If that makes sense? We'll have a look as we go down. So Phaser, who actually finished in 8th, is now on pole position for race 3. Then we've got Taff in 2nd, just behind Phaser. In 3rd, we've got Dandan. In 4th, we've got Unforgiven. 5th is Thomas. 6th on the grid is Hodgie. 7th is Grasshopper. And winner of race 2 is Wayne G. He's now starting in 8th, so right in amongst the mid-pack guys. Chris in 9th, Brian Moncani is 10th, Rossi 11th, Corky is 12th, Sai is 13th, and Hawkeye makes up the 14th on the grid. So good turnout for the opening rounds of this BTCC. I've remembered to press the right button. There we go, I did press the right button. Quite an achievement. So there we go, let's get this race started, shall we? The third and final 20-minute race of this opening round for the URL BTCC tribute, and good start from Phaser, and it looks like Unforgiven has got away well. So that Alfa Romeo is very quick off the line as we saw Phaser take off. Unforgiven has now made his way up into 2nd, started 4th on the grid and got a fantastic start. So the Alphas, I think they're the Julias, I think that's how you pronounce it, Julia? Great off the line then. So Unforgiven up into 2nd already. Dandan in 3rd in the Mercedes AMG. Grasshopper making his way up into 4th. So he's had a good start as well, already making up 3 places. He's coming under a lot of attention though from Chris and Thomas, as Chris, bit of a nudge there from Chris, all accidental obviously, but that is not going to help Grasshopper's cause one a little bit as they come through turn 2 up towards turn 3. This right-hander, the first one at St Mary's, and well, let's have a look into turn 4. Yeah, Chris just couldn't get that turn tight enough, caught the rear quarter of Grasshopper, and I think Grasshopper is still spinning. Chris is waiting for him to come back on track. And there we go, Grasshopper back on, and a bit of a nudge just to say thank you very much for all of that. So poor old Grasshopper and Chris all the way back down to 13th and 14th. Not their start, neither of them wanted. Both on soft tyres as well, so they will be absolutely cursing. But that's racing for you, especially the BTCC stuff. Back up to the top, and Unforgiven has made his move. So let's just go back and see where that happened. While we were watching those 2 guys going off, Unforgiven sitting in 2nd behind Phaser as they went round to turn 4 at St Mary's, up towards turn 5 at Levant. Unforgiven already onto the back of Phaser, so as they go around turn 5 and get themselves onto Levant straight, it was Unforgiven, fantastic exit on the bend, and Unforgiven up into the lead of this race. Getting by Phaser, he made it look very easy, didn't he? Not used the nitrous yet either, but it is only lap 1. They are not allowed to use it on lap 1. So Fazer in second, but Dan having a look up the inside as they get towards Woodcote. Fazer just getting a wheel on the grass, but managing to hold on to it. But Dan, fantastic move down the inside at turn 6 to get himself up into P2. Fazer down into P3. He's coming under all sorts of attack, isn't he? He's being properly mugged. And who's that? That's Unforgiven has gone into the pits. Now the wires, Unforgiven gone into the pits. I'm just going to go and have a look and see if he's got damage. Let's just see what happens. He's leading this race. You got Dan making the move on Fazer as they go through the chicane. Now, did I miss something? But Unforgiven, no damage. He's just decided to come into the... Oh, he has. He's got damage at the back, and that's why he's come in. So Unforgiven into the pit. So I'm not quite sure where he picked that up from. But we've got a new leader then of this race, and it is Dan on the medium tyres in that Mercedes, the AMG. Leading Brian Moncarney making his way up to second. Where's he come from? Brian Moncarney started 10th and he's already up into, well, he's into the lead now. He's already made the move on Dan, so Brian Moncarney taking over the lead. He's on the soft tyres. Dan fighting back though. Brian Moncarney in the Toyota around turn 4. Where are we? Yes, we are at turn 4. So Brian Moncarney now leads. Dan into second. Wayne G, he's made his way. So a good start for Wayne G. He's made his way up into third. He's on the soft tyres. He's got Thomas all over him in the other Focus. Those two are the only ones using the Focus. And they are now up into third and fourth. Thomas on the soft tyres as well. So it looks like a lot of the guys saved the softs for this final race. And Thomas looking for a way by Dan. Wayne G, he doesn't know which way to go. He's actually decided to follow Thomas through. As Thomas goes through and moves up into P2, Dan slots in behind him. Oh, Thomas goes very wide and very deep. Wayne G sees an opportunity, moves by Dan up into P3. Thomas gets himself back on track very quickly to maintain P2. But fantastic racing from Wayne G. He doesn't need asking twice, does he? Fantastic shot as well there, the overhead shot of the finish straight at Goodwood. So rare mistake from Thomas, but from Dan, oh, I don't know what's going on here. I can't keep up with it all. Brian Moncarney out in front and opening up a bit of a gap. Thomas in second, Wayne G in third. It was him that made the great move. So I'm getting myself all confused now, and it looks like he's making another one as he goes by Thomas. So Wayne G up into P2, Thomas down into third. The two Focus having a proper little battle to stay on that podium. Dan down into fourth now in the AMG. He's going to be coming under attention from Hodgie in that Renault. Way too many stickers on that car though. Hodgie has got to weigh a couple of ton really with all them stickers on it. But Hodgie looking to make the move on Dan as they come down towards turn 6. Maybe a dab of the old nitrous to get Hodgie through, and he's gone. He's up through into P4 and on to the back of Thomas. Now the guys have this nitrous, but it is limited, so you've got to be careful where you use it. Hodgie decided to use a bit there down the back straight, heading towards turn 6 so he can get the job done on Dan at Woodcote corner. So Dan into 5th. Now then, let's just have a look, see what's happening elsewhere. Corky is he's picked up half a second penalty, so when he serves that, Fazer is going to move up into P6. Not the best of starts for Fazer really. He started on pole position and now finds himself down in 7th. Corky on the soft tyres, but has got that half a second. I think, if I remember rightly, it is on Levant Straight that he's going to have to serve that penalty. So Fazer just needs to push just that little bit to get a little bit closer to Corky so that he can take P6 away. In fact, we'll just stay with Corky, shall we? As we come around turn 6 at Levant, turn 5, sorry, at Levant corner onto Levant Straight, we can just see the bar filling up above Corky's car. So as soon as that's full, bang, there we go, brakes on. Now then, has Fazer got the momentum to go through? Yes, he has. So the Alpha of Fazer moves on through to P6, Corky down into P7. Rossi in the Renault in P8 at the minute. Just needs to stay on track. He's not had the greatest of races so far. The two opening races he's had, found himself going across the grass quite a lot. So Rossi, bit of work for him to do to get used to this car, but I'm sure as soon as it clicks, he's going to be a very quick driver, and he's going to be up there in amongst the top 4 or 5. I'm absolutely convinced of that. as he's coming under a bit of an attention from Grasshopper. Made that look easy, didn't he, around turn 1, Grasshopper. So Grasshopper now moves up into P8. He is on the soft tyres after having that coming together with Chris in the opening lap. So all the way from, well, what was it, 13th and 14th, I think he was with Chris. He's now up to 8. Rossi down to 9th. Hawkeye in 10th. He's got Chris, who had that issue with Grasshopper. Chris moved up to 11th and looks to be taking P10 away from Hawkeye. Who should we jump on board? Yeah, there we go. Chris moves on by. A bit of a door bump there, but Hawkeye stays on track. So around turn 5 we gone, and Chris moves up into P10 onto the straight. So Hawkeye just looking to get into the slipstream of Chris as they come down towards P6. Hawkeye having a bit of a cheeky look up the inside, but Chris, I think he's going to get the job done, close the door on him, and he has. So Chris manages to hold on to P10. Hawkeye in 11th, with Cy in 12th and Taff in 13th, still wobbling around. Poor old Unforgiven, he made that pit stop, didn't he? He got himself up into the lead, and I still couldn't see where he got that damage from, but picked up some damage and had to come in and stop. So he is a long way off the pace, is Unforgiven, and I think it's a big ask now to try and get him any further up the field, but he'll keep going and just hope that something happens up ahead where he can gain a couple of places. But yeah, race over with pretty much for Unforgiven. Brian Moncani though really enjoying this race 3. He is on the soft tyres, although he's used a lot of nitrous, and we are only, what, 7.5 minutes into this 20-minute race. There is not a lot left in the tank for Brian Moncani, when you've got Thomas, who's gone nearly 3/4 of a tank, same as Wayne G, well, just over half for Wayne G, so they've got a lot more nitrous in their tanks. I can see what Brian's trying to do. He's just trying to open up a big enough gap that it's going to make it impossible for the likes of Thomas and Wayne G to catch him up. But like I say, I think he's used his nitrous up too early. Thomas in second, and Wayne G, the two Ford Focuses, in second and third. Hodgie, he's had a good race here at Goodwood. Not the best of races in the opening one, in race 1, but he's certainly come strong in race 2. And he got himself on the podium, didn't he, for race 2, and he's enjoying this one in race 3 so far, sitting in 4th. About half a tank of his nitrous left, so still plenty in there. Dan in 5th in the Mercedes. He's got Grasshopper. Grasshopper's had a brilliant recovery race so far. He had that incident, didn't he, at lap 1 with Chris, put him all the way down and back to the back of the pack, but Grasshopper on the soft tyres in that BMW, making it look very easy as he breezes by Dan as they come down towards Woodcote Corner for the 7th time. So Grasshopper up to 5th already, so let's not write him off, for a podium finish. The leaders are not that far away from him, so Grasshopper is really going to be pushing hard. Just under half a tank of nitrous, so he's got to pick and choose his moments, but he's having a brilliant race so far, is Grasshopper. He is coming up very quickly onto the back of Grasshopper, so let's just see if he likes to use that nitrous down this back straight. Now then, a couple of them have come unstuck there, just going through turn 2, because they've put their they've hit the nitrous button and the car has just understeered too much, and they've ended up on the grass, but Grasshopper deciding not to use it just yet. Hodgie used slightly more than Grasshopper at the minute, and Grasshopper, well, he's almost drifting around that corner. So Grasshopper, oh, he's right onto Hodgie as they come through turn 5, and I think this is going to almost be a done deal, unless Hodgie can hit that nitrous button. Let's jump on board with Grasshopper, shall we? We'll jump on board with Grasshopper. Yeah, he's been using the nitrous to get himself up onto the back of Hodgie, but he's off a bit now. Oh, good exit from Grasshopper, but no room. Hodgie making that run as wide as he possibly can. Good exit out of the chicane is what's needed for Grasshopper to get a little bit closer to Hodgie going into turn 1. He's not going to get the move done here, is he? But if he can get a decent exit out of here, then he may be able to make a move on Hodgie, and that's exactly what he's got. He's got a brilliant exit. Grasshopper getting a little bit closer to Hodgie, although I suspect Hodgie's now hitting that nitrous button just to prevent the overtake. Good tactics from Hodgie. Doesn't want to give Grasshopper any opportunity, although Hodgie's struggling to get that car to slow down, and then Grasshopper right up alongside of him now. He's going to have to go around the outside at turn 5. Hodgie holding that inside line, and Grasshopper's not bothered. He said, well, I'll do it the odd way then, and he's going around the outside. Couldn't quite get the job done. Great racing between these two as Grasshopper slots in behind Hodgie one more time. As they go down Levant Straight, then we're going to see who else is battling away just behind them. Phaser is creeping up to the back of Grasshopper, so while Hodgie and Grasshopper are having a bit of a fight, Phaser's just going about his business, and he is creeping up to the back of them. Rossi in 7th. He's just ahead of this little trio now. We've got Rossi, we've got Dan, and we have got Chris. Oh, Dan getting it all sorts of wrong coming out of the chicane. Let's just go. Whoops. I've gone back a lap. Have I gone back a lap? Where have I gone to? Oh, I've gone back way too much, haven't I? Oh, never mind. We'll stick with it. We'll stick with it. I don't know what button I pressed then, but we'll stick with it. So, where were we then? Rossi is in P8. Chris is in 9th. Corky is in 10th. Sai is in 11th. I think I've skipped forward a lap, haven't I? Taff is in 12th, Hawkeye 13th, and poor old Unforgiven down in 14th. Although gaining on Hawkeye, it's race over really for Unforgiven. He did have to make a pit stop to get some damage repaired. Back up at the top, Brian Moncani has been caught. He has been caught by Thomas, who's been using his nitrous, but not that much. He's still on half a tank. Wayne G, he's still got some nitrous left as well, sitting in P3. Wayne G won race 2, didn't he? And looking at, well, he's the only one that's got on the podium so far. Well, let's have a look. Thomas got, he got the win in race 1. Wayne G came in 3rd. Wayne G won race 2, and Thomas was 4th, so didn't get himself on the podium in race 2. So Wayne G, the only one that's been on the podium in both races. So at the minute, looking like he's going to get on the podium in race 3 as well. So good stuff from Wayne G. Hodgie sitting in 4th still with Grasshopper tucked up behind him. Let's have a look at the old nitrous. Well, pretty evenly matched actually for the nitrous as Grasshopper tries to go around the outside of Hodgie again as we get to turn 5. Again, Hodgie fantastic at defending. Grasshopper really having to go the long way round, and Hodgie sticking to that inside racing line and staying in 4th. Some brilliant stuff here from these guys in the BTCC tribute cars. Back onto the straight, down towards turn 6 at Woodcote Corner, and he's still Hodgie holding on to P4. We mentioned this before, how good he is at defending, and Grasshopper is now finding out. Grasshopper very good at making the overtakes, but really struggling. Oh, now then, was that a bit of a clip of the barrier as he came out of that chicane? That's gave Hodgie a little bit of breathing space. So Grasshopper's got to work hard to get back up onto the bumper of Hodgie. Phaser still sitting there in 6th in the Alpha and getting a little bit closer to these two. Oh, and it looks like Grasshopper's got by. Now then, what happened? Did Hodgie make a mistake? You've seen the clip there of Grasshopper just catching the edge of the chicane. We're going to stay on board with Hodgie because a quick look behind it and you can see there's quite a decent gap between himself and Grasshopper, so no real pressure. Or did Hodgie put it on himself? Yes, he did. Couldn't get the job done at turn 1 and went very wide onto the grass and basically handed P4 to Grasshopper. Grasshopper couldn't believe his luck there and gave Hodgie a bit of a wave as he went by, I'm sure. And now it's Hodgie coming under attack from Phaser, but Hodgie, I am sure, will be cussing and cursing in that cockpit and doing everything he can to catch back up to Grasshopper. But I think Grasshopper, that's the opening he wanted so that he can now give chase after the guys up ahead of him. So Grasshopper desperate to get on the podium as well as Phaser looks to make a move on Hodgie. He gets himself alongside. out of turn 5, down the Levant straight they go. Hodgie still holding on to P5 then as they go down towards turn 6. Is Fazer can have another look? I don't think he's close enough, is he? No, he's not. He's just got to sit there behind Hodgie as they go into the chicane. Oh, as Hodgie goes wide again. What is happening to Hodgie? He seems to be doing all of the hard work and then just losing it at the worst time into turn 6. Well, he's on the brakes early enough. He just struggled to get it slowed down, and that's really put him off. A bit of a sideswipe there from Fazer as he went by, but nothing intentional. Couldn't really help that. So poor old Hodgie down to 6 now in the space, well, of one lap actually. He's gone from 4th down into 6, but he's going to start fighting back and get on chasing after Fazer. Let's have a look, see what else is happening elsewhere. Rossi is in 7th on his own. I need a quick slurp of water. So Rossi in that green McGann in 7th. He's now looking at the back of Hodgie as well. Is Hodgie on? No, he's on soft tyres, although that front left is not looking too great, is it? That may be what's giving Hodgie the problems, losing a bit of grip. Rossi in P7, look at them tyres. He really has looked after them, hasn't he? So that's the problem. I think Hodgie's struggling for grip. Rossi, though, has got plenty of grip and life left in his tyres, although he's coming under attack from Chris, who's also got a lot of tread left on his tyres, so I'm not sure what's happened with Hodges. But Chris sitting in 8th in the Toyota, and Rossi and Chris both getting a lot closer to Hodges, so Hodges in danger of losing another couple of spots here, and it is purely down to grip, I think. Dan in 9th in the medium tyres. He's, well, all on his own at the minute. As he sees the 2 guys ahead of him go through the chicane, he can see them, he just can't get close enough to them. Sai in the Civic in 10th. Just struggled around Goodwood, I think, as Sai. Maybe there are going to be other tracks where that Civic comes into its own. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's one to look out for, Sai in the Civic. Hawkeye down in 11th. With Taff in 12th. Again, didn't really get into this race in the GTI, and still wobbling around all over the place is Taff. So if it's internet, there's not a lot he can do about it. Unforgiven in 13th after the pit stop very early on. I think it was lap 2, I think it was. I can't remember now. And Corky in the pits, getting damage repaired. So that's race over for him. Back up to the top then, it is still Brian Moncani out in front, but Thomas really gaining on him. We'll jump on board with Thomas as we go across the start-finish line to start lap 13 into turn 1. Thomas, I thought he was just going to have a bit of a look at the inside then, but Brian Moncani shut the door on him. So good racing for Brian Moncani, making that Toyota look as wide as he possibly can. We've got about 4.5 minutes to go as Thomas makes the move. Thomas goes all the way around the outside at turn 2. Quick look in the mirror, where is he? There we go, Brian Moncani, job done, great racing, great overtake from Thomas as they get into St Mary's at turns 3, then into turn 4. Can he make this one stick? Brian fighting back now as they come up towards turn 5. Thomas trying to hold on to that. Oh, now then, there was a bit of a bump, I'm sure there was a bit of a bump. I may have gone back too far. This was the initial overtake from Thomas, a great move all the way around the outside at turn 2. Into St Mary's, no problem whatsoever, job done. Gets the car slowed down enough to get the move done, get the turn done at turn 4, and then there was that little bit of a bump there as they approached turn 5 from Brian Moncani. Nothing intentional, I think he just couldn't slow down enough, and unfortunately that has put them both back. Wayne G says, "Thank you very much, boys," and goes flying through. He will be a big grin on his face because he's not only gone through, but because those two, Brian Moncani had to slow down, Thomas went onto the grass. There is a big gap opened up with only 3.5 minutes to go. Wayne G could not believe his luck, and he's now looking down the barrel of another win. So 2 out of 3 for Wayne G. Poor old Thomas, and Brian Moncani though It was just that little bumper kiss, wasn't it, going into turn 5, and Brian Moncarney has been caught up by Grasshopper as well now. So Brian Moncarney slowed down to give Thomas the place back. Thomas moves up into P2, Brian in P3, but Grasshopper has now caught the pair of them up. So Grasshopper could be looking at another podium finish himself. Finished second in races 1 and 2, and he's now looking to get it 3 out of 3 and get himself onto the podium. So Brian Moncarney a bit of defending to do now, which will suit Thomas actually, because while Brian Moncarney's defending against Grasshopper, then Thomas can try and open up a bit of a gap between the two of them. Fazer down in 5th, he's not really racing anybody at the minute, he's just trying to catch up to the 4 guys in front of him. Hodgie in 6th, that front left tyre of his, well, is he going to hold on? It is looking very, very worn, and that has got to be hurting him, but he is holding on to P6 with Rossi chasing him down, no problem with his tyres in P7. So is Hodgie going to have to come in and get some fresh boots on? It is just that front left now then. Oh, Grasshopper! What has happened to Grasshopper? We've gone back a little bit further just to see what we can do here. So as we come into turn 6 then, it is Brian Moncarney in 3, Grasshopper in 4th as they come to the chicane. Well, you know what? I don't know what's happened there. We'll have one more look at it, but we're not going to dwell on it now then. Did Grasshopper actually clip the chicane? It didn't look like he did from that view. Let's have a look as we come there. Maybe, he may have just caught the back end, but either way, he's ended up facing the wrong way on the exit of the chicane as he's picked up damage at the front, the back, all the wheels. He's in a bad way now, so Fazer says thank you very much and moves up into 4th. Let's just see what's happening. Wayne G, can't believe his luck, out in front by a long way. So he has just now got to cruise home with 1.5 minutes to go of this final race. Thomas into 2nd, Brian Moncarney in 3rd. They've all calmed down a little bit now, and that could well be the podium lineup with Wayne G, Thomas and Brian coming in 2nd to 3rd. Then we've got Fazer in 4th. A bit of a big ask for him to get onto the podium now. He's just got to wait for somebody up ahead to make a mistake. Hodgie barely holding on to 5th because of that front left tyre as they come up towards turn 5 at Levant. Now then, Hodgie is going to be struggling to get that car around, and you can just see him clipping the apex, and Rossi and Chris all over him. Hodgie being mugged at the minute. He is just about holding on. I'm not sure why his front left is so damaged compared to Rossi's. They're in the same car around turn 6, and it is still Hodgie battling away in 5th. Into the chicane they go, followed by Rossi, followed by Chris. Let's jump on board with Chris. Grasshopper trying desperately to get by all of them and try and get something out of this race. Now we're going to stay here just for a very short while as Chris tries to get by Rossi, who in turn is trying to get by Hodgie. Chris a lot quicker on the exit of turn 1. We do need to go back and see Wayne G cross the line in a minute. Hodgie's still... as Rossi's gone off onto the grass now then, back onto the track, but he's going to have dirty tyres, and can he get that car slowed down and around turn 3? It looks like he can into turn 4. Oh, this is great stuff, and we are going to have to leave them and go back up to Wayne G as he comes through the chicane for the final time. And Wayne G couldn't believe his luck, but he has been handed the win, and his 2nd win of the day. You can see what it means to him, a good old flash of the lights. Well done to Wayne G. Thomas across the line in 2nd. Brian Moncarney will take that 3rd podium step, with Fazer not finishing that far behind in 4th. Hodgie, well, I've just got to say well done to him, because that tyre was shot a few laps ago and he's managed to hold on and get that Renault around the track to take 5th, so well done to him. Rossi in 6th, Chris 7th, Grasshopper, well, a bit of an up and down race for him, but he's finished 8th in the end. Dan 9th, Side 10th. Taff will come around, still wobbling left and right. If he can get through that chicane without hitting it, he will finish in 11th. Unforgiven finished 13th. Hawkeye in 12th. And it looks like Corky didn't finish, so Corky had a disconnect or something happened mid-race. We missed that, so apologies for that. But what a fantastic race we've had. What a brilliant opener to this BTCC tribute. Can't wait till next week, so hopefully I can bring you that a little bit more on time next week. So yeah, brilliant stuff. I shall catch up with you all very soon.